Hey guys, Marsinger here, bringing you another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video, and so today we are going to take a look at our boy AGL JACO, the side banner unit from the Resurrection of F Blue banner. Those of you who were there at the stream know that I managed to pull the first copy of the Resurrection of F Blues very quickly on the second multi, the 30 stone step. But of course, as a content creator, I wanted to get a copy of this guy so I could make this very video as well as others, and it took me to like the 500 stone mark to actually pull a copy of him. Which I did then follow up with another final multi to end that summon video, where we pulled a dupe for the Resurrection of F Blues. So pretty happy about that overall. But we're going to take a look at this man right here. He's got a Defenders of Justice leader skill for 3 key and 130%. These side banner units, like 130% leader skills, like who cares? You're probably never going to use him as a leader. His super attack is the Elite Beam, supreme damage with a great chance to stun. So this guy's going to be absolutely insane in Super Battle Road. 70% chance to stun. And then he gets key 3 attack and defense 140 and has a great chance to dodge as the first attacker in the turn. Now someone did clarify for me, because the way this is worded is the same way as a lot of old units, where when it says as the first attacker in the turn, it means that wouldn't proc until he attacks, but the wiki says that it does activate before he attacks. So when I was reading out the unit info on a previous video, I did ask you guys to let me know if anybody knew for sure, and I got a couple of comments from people saying that yes, it does activate in slot 1. So that's the goal of this unit, right? You put him in slot 1, he has a 70% chance to dodge, and in Super Battle Road he has a 70% chance to stun, which is pretty good. He gives the attacked enemy attack and defense minus 20% for 2 turns, and has a high chance to dodge in slot 2 or 3. So he still has a 50% if you're floating him or something like that. He gets an additional 60% attack when attacking extreme class enemies, and he gets an additional attack and defense 20% up to 80 with each attack evaded. So he needs to dodge 4 attacks in order to be fully built up. We're running him on the Movie Heroes team. I guess his main downside, outside of his links, is he's on Movie Heroes, Special Pose, Space Traveling Warriors, and Defenders of Justice. So he doesn't have a 200% lead. Special Pose is a mission that I know is causing a lot of people issues on the Cell Max event, so obviously this guy could be good for that. It's just a problem of fitting him on a team around like the other units, because you're not exactly going to run like the straight up Special Pose team with Gotenks as the leader. And then of course the other issue is his links. Looking at his link tool like page here, even his best link partners are only 3 links. And those are units like the STR Piccolo that I've brought with to be his link partner. Inchi and the Broly trio. Are they both on Space Traveling Warriors? So, I mean, that could be decent, I guess. The Trunks and Giru. In terms of, like, good units, like LR Tapion and Minosha are here as well. And that's it, though, like, for 3 links. And then we drop down to 2. So, not great in that department. And, of course, remember, he's one of these side banner units. He doesn't provide support. So he's not a unit that you're just going to slot into like the Resurrection of F Blues team, for example, and use him as like a floating unit. Now, on the Resurrection of F Blues team, he could actually be good as a slot 1 unit, because I already did the 55% showcase. I didn't want to use JACO in that showcase because obviously I wanted to do this separate video where we sort of focused on him on main rotation. But he could be a good slot 1 option for the team. Now, is he actually going to dodge? Okay, there we go. Now, he didn't dodge that first attack in slot 1, which makes me concerned that it doesn't proc. But I think his biggest issue, especially in more difficult content, I mean, this is probably an unfair, as much as I like this stage to try out new units, this is probably the worst case scenario for him, because obviously the first enemy is Tech. So not dodging that first attack, he took 180k. And that's on this rotation where he's getting support. Yeah, Pycon didn't dodge. He's getting support from Piccolo and Pycon, and he still took that kind of damage. So let's maybe jump into a different event here. Okay, so we'll jump into the Legendary Vegeta event. I think maybe him 55% versus one of the Red Zone stages maybe was a little bit too optimistic. Now, obviously, he does need to build up, right? But we can see here on this first turn, so we have those 3 links active. He only has 100k defense. So obviously he needs to ideally get those dodges in nice and early so that he can build up those base stats. But even when they are like fully maxed, he's not going to be going crazy. So there you go. You got the dodge. I did give mine a level 5 dodge skill orb, so it could have been that. But we do get the dodge in slot 1. The wiki says it's activated before attack, so I assume it is, right? But we got 2 dodges in this turn, so he's halfway built up already. Be interesting to see what his stats look like on the next turn. No, not going to be too crazy, right? We're only getting an extra 40%. And this rotation, we had a lot of support. Now, we would have got extra support from when we picked up the orbs with Pycon. So that would have put him to, what, like 120 or something? I've got all the intro animations still turned on. And I've got... is this rotation going to have both the gammas on it as well? Why did I forget to turn this off? I need to remember to put it on once per day. It's because I didn't want to miss the ones for the Resurrection of F Blues. Is Gamma 1 on the rotation as well? God damn it. No, okay. Let's turn it off so we don't have to see Gamma 1s on the next turn. But okay, so this rotation I obviously don't really care about. I'll get you floated off so you can provide some support. Gamma 2 should be able to just finish off this phase here quite quickly. So I bought a Gamma 2 friend just because there weren't any Gods friends. We are just running the Movie Heroes team again. As I say, Jacko doesn't have a 170 lead. Also, I misspoke in the first part because Jacko isn't on the Resurrection of F Blues team because their leader skill is Realm of Gods and Mastered Evolution, which he's not on. So I always find that really weird when the side banner unit is not on the team of the main unit. Like, obviously I know they are units from the same movie and everything, so it's not like he doesn't fit the theme, but just seems very weird to me. So if we put him in the middle, he would get Signature Pose active, which at level 1 is just 2 key, which since that gives him less chance to dodge, I don't know if that is the best way to go. He's at 171k. He has more attacks that he could dodge in this slot though, and he still has a 50% shot. So let's go ahead and do that, because if we do at least get 2 dodges out of those 3 attacks, it means he will be fully built up after this turn. But I think, as I was saying in the first part, before we died to the Shadow Dragons, I feel like this Jacko, his main purpose is going to be for Super Battle Road. And again, I do think he could probably help out a few people against Cell Max. But, you know, you got to rely on that 70% dodge chance. It's another one of those UI Goku kind of situations where, especially when you get to the tech phase, if you don't dodge, you are dead. So if you want to roll those RNG dice, then obviously he could be useful for Cell Max. I mean, there are very few units you can put in slot 1. And just survive the complete onslaught of attacks, which if this Jacko gets his dodges off, he will, obviously. He's going to take no damage. Now, just like the Resurrection of F Blues, he's definitely a unit that will get considerably better once you have dupes into him, because ideally you just want to go full dodge, because that's all you really want him to do, right? Dodge and additional, because for Super Battle Road, you have that 70% chance to stun, so it would be nice to get the additional stun chance if you do, you know, miss on the first one. But again, another drawback to these kind of units is, whilst he is going to be good in Super Battle Road, like, which of these stages do we still need Super Battle Road stages for? Do we have the ESBR version of Space Traveling Warriors yet? I can't remember. Or Special Pose. Defenders of Justice, I'm pretty sure we don't have. Movie Heroes, I think we have the ESBR one already. So, like, that's the thing, is whilst he's a unit that would be good for Super Battle Road, there's not really many of the Super Battle Road stages that he would be good on that aren't already out. So obviously if some of those stages you guys haven't done, then he could be very useful. But so with this extra support from Super Saiyan 2 Gohan, which I believe is 35%, yep, we are at 223k defense. That is him fully built up at 55% though. So obviously the issue is in the most difficult content, and that's with a lot of support. 2 support units, in fact. So in the most difficult content, if he's not dodging, then he's going to get clapped. So he is one of those, like, all or nothing units. Obviously this event is not particularly hard, so Vegeta isn't doing much damage to us here, even with the type disadvantage. But I definitely think this guy has a very, very niche. Come on, dodge this at least. Oh, come on, Jacko, what are you doing? 230k, yeah, see, now imagine that that's Cell Max. you are dead immediately, even from a normal attack probably. But that's the downside to this guy. If you want to bring him on the team, just like UI Goku, he could clutch out a couple of runs for you where he dodges literally everything. And then you can get rotations where, again, against Cell Max, you definitely wouldn't bring him against Broly. Where if he doesn't dodge, then that's your run like in the bin. So I'm not sure what to think about this guy, especially at 55%. Obviously fully built up with like dripping in support. He only has 220k defense, which I think is quite bad. Now again, he's only 55%, so I don't want to like super underrate him, but that does feel pretty bad to me overall. So yeah, honestly, 55% Jacko, not too crazy about him. I am going to try him out against Cell Max, and we'll see if we can get a decent run. Obviously, depending on how we can build the team, having Chilai as one of his better link partners is pretty good. So her Scouter effect and her dodge, like the combination of the two of them together, could actually be very useful for some of the more difficult content that doesn't disable dodge. But we'll see. You know, if we could clutch out a run against Cell Max with him, that would actually be pretty awesome. But I guess we'll have to wait and see. Let's go ahead and do this. We can't get the support for Pycon unless he needs 3 orbs, doesn't he? So is this going to drop the greens down at the top? No. Alright, well, let's see what Jacko can do. Can we actually get the dodges here? Alright. Super? Oh, no, he doesn't dodge the super. So not a great example, right? Again, any difficult content and that's you dead by him not getting that 70% chance to dodge. So in his good moments, he's going to look great, especially, again, in Super Battle Road, when you're dodging a bunch of attacks in slot 1 and then stunning one of the enemies. He could be like the MVP of one of your runs, but outside of that, I don't really see him as being that great. If he was also like a movie hero support unit or like a special pose support unit or something, then I feel like he would have that little bit of extra value where you could kind of run him on the team solely for his support purpose, and then he's just kind of backing it up defensively by having the dodge. But outside of that, I can't say I think he's that great overall, in my opinion, at 55%. You guys will have to let me know what you think. Did you pull a copy of him? Where do you think you would use him? If anyone has tried him out against Cell Max, let us know your thoughts down below in the comment section. But overall, I have to say, not hugely impressed with him at 55%. So good old chasing him on the banner to do a video. If I wasn't a content creator, like, I would have stopped after that step 2 and pulled the Goku. So if you summon on the banner and you pull the Resurrection of F Blues and you don't pull Jacko, I don't honestly think you're particularly missing out on too much, but I guess we'll see. So we'll end the video out here. We've got a rotation with a couple of attacks coming his way. Hopefully he will dodge all of these. But let me know what you guys think of 55% Jacko down below in the comment section. So that is going to be it for the video, guys. This has been the Master Ningen. Smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you are new. Check out the links down below for the Discord and the merch store, and I will see you all again soon. Have a good one.